Shalom. First and foremost, all praise and glories unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ruach that belong to our apostles, the bishops, the elders of the great millstone, and greetings, salutations, blessings, much love unto you, elect. Shalom unto you. Your brush quite with a video. And just want to go into a little message, a little quick message. And it's basically faint not, you know, we here at the end. All right, I may name it something like that. Matter of fact, before I read this, let me go to Romans. Romans chapter 13, verse 11, it says, "And that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep." And a lot of us have seen this thing. We've woken up to this thing. We've given ourselves over to this thing, but there's still a large multitude that has to come into this. A lot of Jake should be waking up right about now. And if you're on the fence trying to figure it out, choose up and figure it out, whether you serve the Lord or whether you serve him not. Okay? And those of you that choose to serve, everybody's going to have to make this choice. And when you choose to serve the Lord, man, come wholeheartedly. All right. We know in Revelation, the 3rd chapter, it says, I will, whether you were hot or cold, instead of being lukewarm, he's going to spew you out of his mouth. Okay. That's around the 15th or so verse in the 3rd chapter of Revelation. So come wholeheartedly. All right. And be prepared to deal with all the adversities that come with this thing. Okay. And there's plenty of them. It's a straight gate. Okay. Now again, Romans 13 and 11 says, "And that knowing the time, that now is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness." Okay, and part of that um, watching that we faint not is casting off the works of darkness. Certain attachments to the world, well, it will cause you to faint. Matter of fact, let me get that word faint. It's in the next chapter. I'm going to get that in the blue letter, but just a moment. Let me finish this. It says, "Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness and in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying, but put ye on the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, and make not provision for the flesh, okay, to fulfill the lust thereof." You got to be able to cut these things off, because if you're not able to control your flesh, okay, and we know that our flesh is weary, but our flesh is weary, but the spirit is strong. Okay, we know that we have to be able to rule over our flesh. Now let me see. For 2 Corinthians 4 and 1, it says, "Therefore, seeing we have this ministry, as we have received mercy, we faint not." Now let's check that word faint not. Okay. So if we never give up, let's check what that word means in the Greek. We faint not. See, mercy, we faint not. We faint. Okay. Ekekeo. Okay. To be utterly spiritless. We can't tap out, man. We gotta still have spirit in this thing. We still gotta keep fighting. To be wearied out, exhausted. Hey man, we can't run out of steam. Okay, faint, be weary. Okay, that's basically what this means. We gotta know that we're running this race, and it's not a sprint, but it's a marathon. Okay, the race is not to the swift. Let me get that real quick. Okay, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 11. "I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happen to them all." Okay, and understanding that these time and chances, these situations that we're put through, whether they be victorious, pleasant, and wonderful situations, or negative adversity and different things that happen unto us, temptations or whatever, we have to apply skill. We have to apply wisdom to every situation. And the most wise thing, the beginning of wisdom, is fearing Yahweh Bashim Yahshua and giving him the praise, man. Okay? And then taking each situation and using it as a building block toward your salvation, of things to use and things to pass on to the ministry. Okay? So now I'm going to go to Matthew 26. I'm going to read through it, then I'll go back to 2 Corinthians. Matthew 26 and 35. Right? It says, Peter said unto him, though I should die with thee, because this is when Yahushua was about to be he was about to be betrayed by Judas Iscariot, right? And then Peter, they were having a conversation. Well, here's the conversation. Peter said unto him, though I should die with thee, yet will I not deny thee. Likewise also said all the disciples. Then Yahushua cometh with, and this is what happens when you come into this thing. This is what you think is going to happen. You're setting your mind. You're like, okay, but you haven't put your flesh in order, and you haven't made your flesh submit to your spirit yet. Okay, to where you've built your spirit up with the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that it can overcome the flesh. Okay, because that's what this thing is really about. Building your spirit up to where it can overcome your flesh, where your flesh is subject to your spirit. Is it going to be perfect? Of course not. But you got to win some of these, man. You can't, like Jake, you walk around with Jake in the world, watching Jake in the world, you see Jake lose to the flesh every time. And their spirit is just dark and they just lose. Well, we're in this to build up our spirit, that our flesh can be strong. That our spirit can be stronger than our flesh. Okay? It says, then cometh Yahushua with them unto a place called Gethsemane, and saith unto the disciples, sit ye here while I go and pray yonder. And the instruction was, sit ye here. And what did he say? Okay. Ecclesiasticus Sirach chapter 39 verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, that's putting your body in subjection with the law to the best of your ability. And it takes your spirit to be mindful to do these things. You can go to Wisdom of Solomon in the 6th chapter. It breaks it down around the 17th verse. It breaks it down for you. And is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies. Okay, so this is what we're supposed to be watching. Sit here and watch. Okay, this is what we're sitting here and watch. I think there's another one. 2nd Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Okay, this is what we're supposed to be doing when he told it to apply what he said to Peter and the disciples back then into the time of now. The things are written aforetime are written for our learning. So we're applying it now in the time of watching and watching for these prophecies. Okay, and being still, meaning being focused, being single-minded toward this ministry, toward salvation. Okay, now let's go back. So back in Matthew 26, I'm in 30. I'll read 36 again. It says, then cometh Yahushua with them unto a place called Gethsemane, and saith unto the disciples, sit ye here while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Then saith he unto them, my soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here and watch with me. Okay, and then the Spirit watches with us, and the Spirit sends us all these things that Yahushua can see, okay, through the Spirit, and he gives them to us, but we don't always comprehend everything that we see. Okay, that's why we got to study and be locked in to see all these different things. We see the prophecy of the natural disasters. We see the coming collapse of the money in the society. Okay, we see the famine. We see World War III. We see the betrayal coming to the true believers. Okay, to be sent before governors and kings. I saw a commercial with Snoop Dogg, and it might have been, what's that quarterback's name, man? It's supposed not Tom. What's the other guy? Not Brady. It might have been Tom Brady. I think it was Tom Brady. Talking about, it was a hate. I couldn't hear it, but it was talking about an anti-hate message Well, we know what that's really for. At the end of the day, that's coming for us. And they're gonna believe that we're haters because of Amalek, okay, but particularly because we're proclaiming our identity back. Okay. So they gotta throw that defamation on us. Okay. And so seeing that, we know that that's coming for us. We see World War III, we see all these different things coming. Okay. We see all these different things coming. The persecution, Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation, the MOT to the B, the C hip. Okay, we see all of it. All right. The image of the beast coming together. We seeing the beast hate the whore. All right, so many things that is out there for us. And you people that are waking up now, you gotta get on board with starting to be able to point these things out. It ain't mean you gotta speak on it, okay, unless you're called to be a prophet for you men. But the rest of you, you at least gotta be seeing and adjust your conduct in like manner towards righteousness and holy conversation, right? Anyway, it says, and watch with me. And he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, "Oh, my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me." And knowing that you're going to be apprehended, it don't feel good, man. Knowing that this has got to happen, it don't feel good. And then you got to imagine it'll get rough, man, like it was for the Maccabees. When they were apprehended, they got tortured. Okay? You got to imagine that this is what's going to happen to you, even unto the point that you're beheaded. Okay? Get your mind wrapped around that, and then everything else falls short. But you got to keep it like Stephen, man, whether you shot up, stoned, or whatever you want to call it now. You got to keep it in a mind state like Stephen did. He just looked on to the glory of the Father, okay, when they became to persecute him and stone him. Okay, and his spirit left from him. Okay? That's how you gotta envision it. Prepare yourself for it. Okay? Anyway, it says, "Oh, my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt." We know he didn't get an answer. And he cometh unto the disciples and findeth them asleep, and saith unto Peter, "What, could ye not watch with me 1 hour?" We're at the last hour. We need people, we need laborers. Okay, the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. We need laborers, those that are moving in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua with us, helping to build this spiritual third temple. Okay, now we got the prophets and the teachers and so on and so forth really doing that job, but you other people need to start coming up and realizing what's being built right before in front of your eyes, and start making your atonements to Yahweh Hashem Yahshua by cleaning yourself up, putting on that armor, because the day's coming. Okay, and for you men that understand that are already in the teachings, hey, the fruit is coming. Be ye prepared to deal with all these types of people that are in all types of other doctrines that are going to come and try to want to believe this thing. There'll be some good fruit and some bad. A heavy net, a big net's coming. If I'd have kept reading Ecclesiastes, the 13th chapter, it's going to be a big net, and some going to have to get thrown out, and some going to be good fish that come in. Okay, anyway, it says, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. Okay, and how do we do that? We got to keep our mind sharp. Our spirit got to be more powerful than our flesh, because of what gets tempted is our flesh. Okay, it says here, the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Okay, how should I said it all right there? It says 42. He went away again the second time and prayed, "Oh, my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done." And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. And he left them and went away again and prayed the third time, saying the same words. Okay. So you can't be asleep, because this is, man, I'm read 45, but this thing is coming, man. They coming for us. Hey, but this ain't where we fight and kick and scream. Yahweh didn't do that. If I'm not going to read it on, but he didn't do that. But this message in this lesson is more about preparing yourself to go through all of this. Okay, let's go to 2 Corinthians. Okay, and this is what we're watching, that we faint not. that we don't run out of steam, that we don't get exhausted. We got to pace ourselves, but we're pacing ourselves to endure all the way through. Even though we're at the sprint, this is the end, and this is the late in the fourth quarter, and this is the sprint. Okay? And we know the prophecy said this thing gonna go into overtime, man. We gotta pull out, we gotta pull it, man. That's when you watch these games, barely like the heavy championship games, whether it be the sudden death overtime in football. I don't even know if they had it anymore. Or it'd be overtime in basketball or whichever, extra innings, however you want to say it. It takes a certain type of spirit to pull out of you, man, a certain competitive spirit, a certain deeper something that you dug deep in the training. This is the training time, this grace period that you can dig from to overcome in those days. Okay, so I'll read it, and I'm gonna jump around, but I'm gonna jump down at some point. But it says, therefore, seeing we have this ministry, as we have received mercy, we faint not, but have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty, not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of Yahweh deceitfully, but by manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, not in the sight of men, okay, but in the sight of the Most High. So we're truly honest because he can see it all. But if our gospel be hid, it is hidden to them that are lost, in whom the Most High, the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the great glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of the Most High God Yahweh, should shine unto them. So we know that this is coming in. This is what we're watching for. Though a lot of people are waking up, it's about to be a large multitude that comes in. And we got to sift through and set them straight and put them on the straight and narrow path, with faith to endure. And they're not going to have the exercise we've had over these years that we built up. So we got to share that with them. Okay, we got to build them up with that. For we preach not ourselves, but Hamashiach, Yahushua the Lord, and ourselves your servants for Yahushua's sake. For God who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, and we got to represent that. When you come into this thing, that's what we're representing. So we're watching and building ourselves up, watching the prophecies and building ourselves up, building our spirit up, that shineth in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of Yahweh in the face of Yahushua Mashiach. But we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of Yahweh and not of us. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed. Because we're strengthened. These are the things that happen to us in the flesh, but we're not overtaken, or we don't faint because of the strong spirit that the Most High has put within us. Okay? Always bearing about the body, always bearing about in the body the dying of the Lord Yahushua, and the life also of Yahushua might be made manifest in our body. Okay, so our spirits got to overcome our flesh, man. We got to build our spirit up to get it strong to overcome our flesh. For we which live are always delivered unto death for Yahushua's sake. That's the only way that you should be persecuted, man. Okay, as if it's for this ministry, not because of some shit you did or whatever else. We're trying to make sure we clean up as much as we can. He gonna come with everything. Oh, you owe back taxes. Oh, you did this. Or you said that. Or we caught you doing. It's gonna be all these things. But know in your conscience that this is what you were really about. Okay, that you didn't offend in the sight of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Okay, it says, for we which live, for we which live are always delivered unto death for Yahushua's sake, that the life also of Yahushua might be made manifest in our mortal flesh. Okay? So then death worketh in us, but life in you. For we have the same spirit of faith, according as it is written, I believed, and therefore I have spoken. We also believe, and therefore speak, And part of that speaking is also the way we move. Okay? The way we move proves that we believe. The way we conduct ourselves proves that we believe. Knowing that he which raised up the Lord Yahushua shall raise up us also by Yahushua, and shall present us with you. So present us with you. For all things are for your sakes, that the abundant grace might through the thanksgiving may abound. Thanksgiving of many redound to the glory of Yahweh. For this cause we faint not, but though our inward man perish, yet verse 16. For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. This is what you got to have in your spirit, because the flesh tempts you for the moment. I seen some Christian thing popped up on my feed, and it was like, you know why sin feels so good? And it's like because the flesh likes sin. It feels good to the flesh. Okay, but it's not that's within you. The spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is what's in your spirit. And that's what we have to overcome. That's the condition of the battle, the things that we did in his body. Okay? While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen, for the things which are seen are temporary. But the things which are not seen are eternal. And that's what we got to keep in mind, that we faint not. You know, say if you in the gym and you got 2 more sets, okay, and you push out them last 2, man, as hard as they may be, unto failure. If you're running, you got to put your mind somewhere. Okay, and this is what we were talking about. It's not to the swift. You put your mind somewhere and you just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Okay, willpower. Just push through it. And the willpower that you're pushing is the will of the Father. And how do you know the will of the Father? It's in his spirit, which is written in his word. All right. So I'm gonna end it there. Lord willing, this was edifying. It's just something to build brothers up in, to have you on just something to give you to look forward at, and to make sure that we're walking as that upright man that we're supposed to be. That when people recognize us and they see us, and people have been coming around asking you and talking to you, hey, asking your decisions and wanting you to judge certain matters and what you think and what we're going to do, and they want you to guide all of that, because they know that there's a light in you, because that light is from your spirit ruling over your flesh, overpowering your flesh. So Lord willing is edifying, giving all praise and glories unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Keep pushing, keep fighting, keep enduring, and faint not. Giving all praise and glories unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, B'Shem Rachak Wadash. Until the next one, say shalom.